I'd like to welcome you to WCPT AM's Out Chicago. Think of us as Sunday brunch with your gay best friends. Now please welcome your host, Scott Duff.
And a happy Sunday fun day to everybody out there. Welcome to Out Chicago.
It's
Scott Duff here.
Beautiful morning.
Welcome to Fake Spring number 1.
I'll take it.
There you go, Ellen Miller. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
There you go. We got Fake Spring going on.
When you have weather like this on a Sunday, what's not to like?
It's amazing. It's lovely. It's going to get cold again.
Yeah, it will.
We know that. Yeah, we know in Chicago. We've got about, 3-4 fake springs that they're going to happen?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. But it will take the respite. It's lovely.
I'll take it.
It's lovely. We hope you all had a lovely Valentine's Day. We are here to show you the love. We've got a great show today. The Illinois primaries are just weeks away. And we're going to be joined by Illinois State Senator Mike Simmons, who is making a bid to represent Illinois' 9th District in Congress. Really happy to have him back on.
Yes, he's great.
What an effective legislator he is.
He's been
crushing
very
it.
Busy.
Let me tell you, in the Illinois State Senate, I think he's got 50 bills passed.
Yeah, tons.
He's incredible.
He's a doer.
Yeah, so we're excited to see what his plans are to win your vote on the primaries coming up on the 17th. And Rivendell Theater Ensemble kicks off their 30th anniversary season with the world premiere of Alex Lubischer's Pivot, a dark comedy about getting your way, making a scene, and father-daughter dances to the chicks. Award-winning playwright Alex Lubischer is going to be joining us in the second hour. And, of course, you can listen to us live every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central on 20 a.m. on TuneIn from heartlandsignal.com, or watch the live video stream on WCPT's Facebook page or the Heartland Signal YouTube page. And, of course, we would love to hear from you. The phone lines are open, so give us a call at 773-763-9278. That number again is 773-763-9278. And, of course, you can also, if you don't feel like chatting with us, but you still want to be a part of the conversation, you can text us at that very same number, 773-763-9278. So, hey, how's your week been?
Busy.
You've been out and about.
I was out and about. It's the time of year where a lot of shows are having openings, and we took advantage of it. Kathy and I went and saw 3 wonderful plays. Really, it's an embarrassment of riches. I
That's
say it
what
all
you
the
say
time.
every time.
But
we need a new phrase.
It's so true. The Goodman Theater's Holiday. It's an adaptation of a film by Richard Greenberg. It was written in 1928. Robert Falls, former artistic director, was the director of this show, and it's delightful. It's
I love the movie.
I gotta see the movie.
Much.
I want to see the movie now.
Katharine Hepburn is just such a delight. She's so smart.
I know.
She's just so smart.
One of our favorites.
All of her intelligence. And then the thing, I love Richard Greenberg, too, the playwright.
Yeah.
He is an incredible playwright. This is actually the world premiere. He's posthumously. It's a posthumous world premiere.
Yes.
There, he wrote some incredible play. He wrote "Take Me Out," that one big gay baseball movie play, rather.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep. He also I did one of his plays years ago with now defunct Roadworks, The American Plan. He is a very prolific playwright. He passed away a couple of years ago, I think, to cancer.
Oh.
But the I just think he's so clever and so smart and funny. It seems like a perfect marriage of the two.
It really was. And the scenery, the set. The set. Beautiful. It just takes your breath away. I mean, Goodman always excels, I think, at sets. They really go, they lavish.
Well, they got some money.
They got some money. Steppenwolf does a great job, too, but sometimes they do it in a minimalist way. But Goodman's, the detail, the architectural detail, all of it.
Because this one just takes place in one room, right? Basically, or did they?
2 rooms.
Okay.
There's a bedroom and a living room.
Right. Well, there's their little secret room that they have to escape the party.
And actually, when they change back to the first act set. In the second act, there's another set, and then they change back to the first set. There's a quick curtain, and the audience applauds for the scene change,
of course,
for the set change.
It's
they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Anyway, Holiday, I recommend it. It's going. It's been extended till March 8th, so you've got time to see it. Then on Wednesday, Broadway in Chicago, The Outsiders, a musical that won a ton of awards on Broadway. I was not that familiar with it, to be honest. I never saw the movie.
But
it was there's a there's a fight scene in Act 2 that will take your breath away. The choreography on that, the fight work on that is.
I was really bummed I couldn't make it to that one. I had a work commitment that I
know.
could not get out of, and like we actually watched the movie a couple
in
weeks ago just to prepare to be like,
Oh,
well, let's
man.
go watch, because it was that movie was such a part of my
Growing up,
childhood. Yeah, I mean, have you seen that movie?
I never saw it. No.
Girl,
Yeah.
that's one that you're like, talk about. It was the '80s, and it was Francis Ford Coppola, I believe, who directed it, and it is. Everybody is in it. You got Patrick Swayze, Ralph Macchio, Matt Dillon, Rob Lowe, Tom Cruise, Emilio Estevez, C. Thomas Howell. Who else am I missing?
The A-list of that age of actors at that time.
Diane Lane.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and they are just all so. Leif Garrett. Do you remember Leif
Of
Garrett?
course. He was a pinup for a lot of gals.
Yeah,
And
boys. He was on a very special episode of Chips, and Chips was one of those shows that really confused me as a kid. I loved Eric Estrada so much.
Did
and I
you?
didn't quite. Oh my God, Eric Estrada. Oh, love him. Love him.
Interesting.
And
I would never have pegged you for going for Eric Estrada.
Wow, oh, come on. He was just so exotic and handsome, and that smile.
He was.
And
He
that
was young.
uniform. It was the uniform
It was
that
the
really
uniform
got it
that
for him. But
pushed it
Leif
over the
Garrett was
top.
on a special episode where he played himself, and he was in a limo, and they got into a car crash. And unfortunately, when he was in the car crash, his shirt was unbuttoned.
Lucky
What?
you.
Oh no, yeah, but sorry,
Anyway,
that was a big thing. But the Outsiders is really good.
It's good. I recommend
Didn't
it.
that premiered at the Goodman, or at least it was supposed to? I think that might have happened during COVID, because I remember it being announced The Outsiders was a part of the Goodman season. I think it might have been during 2020 or 2021. So I don't know if it ever actually happened, but I know it was supposed to be here before it went to Broadway.
Well, it's
Chicago
here now,
connections.
and it's here until the 22nd of February. And then on Thursday, we saw Comeback Little Sheba at American Blues Theater. Scott and I were talking ahead of time. He's longtime friends with one of the stars, Gwendolyn Wendy Whiteside, who plays one of the key roles. It's immersive. It's only like 35 people. You're literally sitting on the set, around the set in the living room where it takes place. And
Are you on love seats and stuff?
Yes, there's couches, love seats. We were at a little table, a little cocktail table, which I enjoyed. It's great.
Yeah.
And it's heavy. They warn you. There's some physical and emotional, violence that goes on, and just be prepared for that.
Well, William Inge.
Pardon?
William Inge.
Yeah, William Inge, the playwright. But man, the acting in this, I just loved it. I mean, like I said, it's a little heavy, and depending on your life experience, how it might affect you, just be forewarned. But Comeback Little Sheba, it's playing until March 22nd. You have time, but don't delay, because there's only 32, 35 spots per show.
How long is it running?
To the 22nd of March.
Oh, okay. So we got plenty of time.
Plenty of time to go see it.
I wonder if they're adding more shows to that. For their schedule, because the house is so small. Who knows?
It's a pretty long, and it's running longer than the other two I saw. So maybe that's part of it. The 22nd.
Those Broadway and Chicago shows are here for like a week or 2 weeks,
generally.
unless you're like Hamilton.
Hamilton's coming back.
Yeah.
Talk about that again later when we have more to talk about. But I ran into Doris, and she's excited about Hamilton. And Doris, we of course Davenport.
Come on, Doris Davenport. Yep.
We ran into a lot of people going to the shows. But anyway, it's just doing that, going to see shows while we can. And the real estate market is heating up, as they always say, after the Super Bowl. And they're not kidding. This year, it's actually happening, and the weather doesn't.
The weather helps. Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, so that's my week in review. How about yours, Scott?
Well, first of all, I was thankful that I did not work Friday or Saturday.
Valentine's weekend.
Because people are kooky pants out there.
Because of E-Day?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, all flowers. The amount of flowers that we go through.
Do you double your orders or
beyond,
triple?
No, it's more like quadruple. Usually there are like 2 pallets of flowers. There are about 7 or between 7 and 10 that show up. That's 27 cases per.
And you went through most of them?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Oh, you were off.
I wasn't there. Thank goodness. Because let me tell you, it is not for the faint of heart. For those warriors out there who are selling flowers, people who are out there shaking cocktails, doing all that stuff, waiting on tables yesterday. You know, my thoughts and prayers were with you all day during that holiday. It's a little kooky pants. It's a little amateurish too, I think. I hate going out on Valentine's Day.
We usually do, but
you know how to go out. You know what I mean? It's like, but there are people who don't go out except for like New Year's Eve and Valentine's Day, and they don't really they don't understand. You know, they complain, they don't tip, they do. You know, it's like it's
taking up and the restaurant. I mean, it's a two tops everywhere.
It's just two top central all over the place.
Yeah, we were going to go out Friday night, the two of us, because we were with friends last night, dear friends from college, and we got together and had a little dinner party, which was great in Park Ridge. But we're like, do we really want to go out? We got some food we could heat up here. We could stay in our comfy cozies and watch Marty Supreme. How about that? So that's what we did on Friday night.
How was that?
Well, I'm not going to call it my favorite movie.
Okay.
It's a long movie. It's one of those where you have to suspend disbelief and reality, because when you hear that this is based on a person that was a ping pong star,
right?
You kind of think there's some like a biopic kind of a thing, but it's not. It's not realistic. But Timothée
Chalamet
is he just can't. I mean, everything he's in.
He's really talented.
He's so talented.
He's a very talented man.
It's weird. I'm not going to say it's bad. We were enthralled. We were just involved. We were like watching every moment, waiting for something to happen, and it did happen.
That's good.
I mean,
we were waiting for something to happen, and it did.
I mean, I was waiting for actually
like a big thing.
I was waiting to like a character in the show.
Oh, you didn't like him?
And no
one's likable.
There's no one likable. There's nobody that's really that likable in the entire cast.
Oh,
yes, no.
Oh, all right.
But you come to grips with it. You come after like 2 hours. You're like, okay, I'm not going to like anybody here, but I'm going to love the performances and think that this is an interesting story that's keeping my attention.
All right. Well, there we go. I love that interesting review.
Yeah, there it is.
So
let me know if anybody's seen the movie. Give us a call. I'd love to hear what you thought of it. Because you're not hearing a lot of people, oh, you got to go see that one. You're not hearing that. Like hearing like one battle after another. Or,
I don't know. I'm not even hearing like a lot of buzz. Just a lot of chatter. I think there's too much other stuff going on in the world that people aren't talking about.
Weird
that
movies.
Sort of stuff about movies, you know?
Weird movies too.
Which is like, I guess, okay, but yeah, I think we should talk more about movies. But anyway, we ended up we had a double date on Valentine's Day Eve,
right?
With our friends Katie and Andrew, and we went out to dinner. Let me tell you, the Warbler right across from Old Town.
I love that. I love their flatbreads.
Old School of Music. Oh yeah, they've got a chicken liver tartine.
Ooh.
That is so good.
I like goose liver. I don't like chicken liver.
Really? No, okay.
But
you like the foie
like
gras.
I know I shouldn't.
Even though they force feed those geese.
Please. Don't remind me. I haven't had it in years.
Hey, look, it's delicious. Yeah. I'm with you.
I know it is delicious.
But we went out and we had like a lovely dinner, like the four of us, and then we went to go see a comedy show down at the Den Theater.
Who did you see?
We saw Dave Nahill. He is an Irish comedian. Let me tell you, I love the Irish. All you got to do is like pull the string and then watch them chat, and it's always delightful and funny. It was really great to he was really, really smart. He's one of those comics that his show was called like the Tangent Tour, and he does take a lot of tangents in his set. Like he'll be talking about one topic and then like, let me go talk about over here, blah blah blah. And he was so good about tying everything back to what he was talking about.
Like The Weave.
The Weave? What?
The Weave.
What's The Weave?
You don't know about The Weave?
No, that's what I'm asking. What is The Weave?
When our favorite president goes here and there, he calls it The Weave because he goes on all these tangents and then he says he weaves it all together.
Oh, I've never heard that because that's not true. He does not do that.
He doesn't
do that.
He thinks
he does that. He also poops his pants apparently. Allegedly,
anyway,
he's a poopy pantser.
So he did a positive.
Yeah. So it was fantastic, and like his life is just it really was testimony about going out and living life. There was a lot of I mean, some horrible stories about like cliff jumping in Greece and his leg breaking and all this sort of stuff. But it was really kind of it was just fun to be out and about and to
Yes.
be. And for me, I always felt cool whenever I go to the den. Like I have a hard time feeling cool. I never really feel cool, but like for some reason, the Den Theater, the way like the cool floor and the great bar,
The
and
bar
like
is nice.
it just feels kind of like feels very.
It's
Just
very,
feel very Tony.
Chicago's cool spots.
Yeah,
you know, you feel like
you
you're
just
in
feel
like
like you're a coolio.
the pulse of cool over
Yeah,
there.
and then yesterday we had a really stupidly early dinner.
you
yesterday.
said that. How early?
4:15.
Oh my God!
I know that is like
That is
second breakfast.
senior citizen.
That is some Hobbit stuff. That is like what, third lunch? That is like.
The problem is you're starving by 9 o'clock, right?
Oh yes, well thank goodness we had some cheese curds in the freezer. My great nephew is being baptized today. So the families all came in, like her family, our family. So I was like, so hey, what? Texted my nephew. I'm like, hey, so what's going on with this dinner that's happening on Saturday? And I'm like, I can't believe we're going to go to dinner. It's Valentine's Day. Like, oh yeah, we're going to be meeting here, and it's going to be we're meeting dinner. Our reservations are at 4:15 Saturday night. And I went, 4:15 is not night. It is barely even
It's
evening.
like
It is late afternoon. So, but it was really great to be with family. Let me tell you, this kid is so stinking cute.
I saw the picture.
Oh my
He's
gosh.
very adorable.
He's adorable. He's a chunk. He is large. He's ginormous.
He's healthy.
He is his head is in the 99th percentile.
Wow.
Apparently. Yeah.
That's
Very
good. That means there's a big brain in there.
Sure. But he's a great little baby. And it was just, always fun to kind of be, again, with family and
Yes,
and
that's
with
nice.
community, just to celebrate this big event that's going to be happening today. So, yeah, I'm not able to go.
You're not able to
because
go because you're working.
yeah,
right?
I've got this and I got work afterwards and everything. So, but it was just really, really
nice.
lovely. And then Jerry and I got home at a very reasonable hour. And we, because our dog is, poor little Emmett, he's having a hard time with stairs. And let me tell you, this kiddo, he will, if we go, we've got a little lofted area, which is where our TV is. And if we are watching something, like, we feel bad about leaving
him.
and then he'll come up. We're like, oh, buddy, you made it.
Sweet thing.
So we decided to not make him climb the stairs, and we set up our projector and watched the Olympics.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, last night.
I have been enjoying the Olympics. Every night I watch.
Girl, I've got some stuff to say about the Olympics
Yeah.
a little bit later.
We'll
on.
talk about that later.
But yeah. So it was just kind of it was a great day. I will say our date it felt very straight. Like I don't know how to say it any differently. It just felt like the 13th felt a little, just felt straight. I don't know. We need to gay it up.
You needed to go hit a bar or something afterwards. I don't know.
No, it was too late
Yeah,
afterwards. 'Cause,
okay.
never. But also do we even need to talk about the Super Bowl? I mean, because it's already been a week away, and then we've already.
It seems like ancient history now.
Yeah,
but I
totally.
just have to say, I really enjoyed Bad Bunny.
His show was fantastic.
I really enjoyed all the scenes and the people and all of it. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I
Did
think
you
a
like
lot
the
of-
game? I heard the game
The
was kind
game
of
was
like
a
boring.
snore.
I thought of you guys because you were talking about squares and there were
Yeah.
threes. Somebody got threes, and I was hearing like, oh, there are a lot of field goals. I'm
Right.
like, ooh, those are threes.
Yeah,
I hope
it
somebody-
didn't help. It didn't help.
anybody.
Devin almost won, but I jinxed it by saying, "Yeah, you're in good shape right now," and then the score changed.
Oh, boo.
Her exact message was, "You're sitting pretty with 4 minutes left," and I didn't see that till after the game. And I texted her back.
no.
I'm like, "You jinxed me."
Oh no.
But we came up with. Kathy went online and found a bingo game that was based on things you see, like
Right.
a Doritos commercial. Oh, this certain penalty, and so we passed those out. We all put $5 in, and that really made the game fun.
It's fun. Yes, I love doing those little bingo cards.
Yeah.
We do that. We do little bingo cards when we go to an amusement park.
Oh,
Yeah, like you see people who are wearing like swimsuits as outerwear, and
Swimsuits
jeans and
as outerwear.
black concert. It's like it's always fun.
so we made it fun.
but
We had
look-
a couple friends over. I made a homemade pizza, which is my Super Bowl tradition. Homemade crust, homemade sauce.
Right?
homemade
Yeah.
everything.
You were sending me pictures of that. Yeah.
God, it
It was delicious, but not as delicious as that halftime show.
That
I thought
is
it was
good.
fantastic. I will say, I bet it was weird being in the stadium to watch it because it was so built around
I
being
heard
televised.
they didn't see any of the stuff we.
Yeah.
They didn't get what we got. No.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you would have to be watching the jumbotrons
yeah.
or whatever that were going on there. But I thought like he knocked it out of the park. God bless those
His
people that were
message.
dressed up as grass.
As grass, the grass people.
The sugarcane people. They were fantastic.
All the different countries of America, South America, Central
Of the
America.
Americas,
Yeah,
you know,
it was
yeah.
nice.
But it was just, I do not understand how people can take umbrage with it, unless you just wanted to be racist.
That's
that's
it.
what it is.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
That's
I
what
think
it is.
we're just locking in being that at least 30% of this country is just blatantly racist, and
That's
they're
true.
very, very comfortable with racism.
Because their dear leader gives them permission to be.
Yes. But yeah, so Bad Bunny knocked out of the park. Kid Rock
loved
could
him.
barely lip sync through his thing.
I saw
Yeah.
clips of that. Ridiculous.
Yeah,
Just,
apparently, and even like, I don't even want to bring her up, but like Candace Owens.
yeah.
Blech. Do you know her?
I know her name, but I don't know anything about her.
Yeah, well, she's the worst. She's
Yeah, of
one of the
course.
worst. No,
Of
but
course.
there are other people who are much worse than she. But she was talking about how she was kind of blowing the whistle because even though she's conservative, she was like, yeah, this whole Turning Point USA thing was just. It was like, it was pre-recorded 2 weeks earlier. They had to pay 150 people to be there.
I didn't
and they
hear
just
that.
kept moving the crowds around to make it look like it was more full than what was going on. And then, ironically, they fed everybody tacos. So, yep. We sure hate those Mexicans. But we love their food.
The state we're in right now.
America.
America.
How?
America.
America. Well, on that note, we should probably take a little
Yes, let's
bit of
do
a
that.
break
Indeed.
here. But before we go, this part about Chicago is brought to you by Team Hochberg. If you are purchasing a new home, you need to call Team Hochberg, your trusted local lender. Kim, a single mom and longtime renter, called David after reading several of his over 700 five-star Google reviews to get pre-qualified to purchase her first home. David answered Kim's questions, supplied her realtor with numerous pre-approval letters until she located and purchased the perfect home for her and her 6-year-old daughter Sophia to enjoy future life cycle events. Let's review. Now I just want to hear like a life cycle event and just see them both on stationary bikes. Just having an event up there. Let's review. Kim contacted David to secure a mortgage on her first home, and David helped her secure a low interest rate mortgage with only 5% down. If you're purchasing a home and would like the same outstanding service and low interest rate as Kim received, call Team Hochberg now at 855-563-2843 or visit 56david.com. Team Hochberg helped Kim thousands of WCPT listeners, but they can't help if you don't call 855-563-2843 or visit that website you know and love, 56david.com. Lower.com, equal housing lender, NMLS 1124061. We are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, it's the news of the week right here on Out Chicago on WCPT Heartland Signal.
Hey, this is Mark Patton, and I'm from Scream Queen, My Nightmare on Elm Street, and you're listening to Out Chicago.
And welcome back to Out Chicago. Scott Duff here, along with Ellen Miller, on this beautiful fake spring day here in Chicago. And it was another delightful week in Dear Leader's dystopian state. It was just chock full of fun and good times. Let's see. The administration erased the scientific finding that climate change endangers human health and the environment, ending the federal government's legal authority to control the pollution that is dangerously heating the planet. Don Lemon and Georgia Ford pleaded not guilty to federal charges designed to intimidate journalists everywhere. The pride flag was taken down from the Stonewall National Monument in the middle of the night under Dear Leader's directive. Don't worry, it's back up now because a good bunch of queers put it back up, hanging it right with the American flag. Let's see. The airspace around El Paso was shut down because Customs and Border Patrol was using a weapon on drones from Mexico that turned out to be what? A party balloon.
Lovely.
Yes. ICE tried
tax
to
dollars at
justify a Minneapolis shooting, and their story was completely contradicted by, facts. TSA TSA agents may have to endure another government shutdown due to the fact that I simply cannot comport with basic rules of law enforcement. And AG Pam Bondi, that howler monkey, appeared before Congress, who were super mad about DOJ's handling of the Epstein files, the killing of U.S. citizens in Minnesota, and trying to prosecute 6 lawmakers who told folks in the military to refuse illegal orders. And that's just part of it. Boy, oh boy. Look, I hate when people talk about women's voices as being shrill. I hate it. I think it's awful. Pam Bondi, her voice is nails on a chalkboard. Were you tuned into any of that sort of situation?
I saw it kind of after the fact because there was after I saw everything on social media, people talking about it. We were working, but then we took a break and turned it on, and there was plenty of lowlights that they were still running, and so I saw lots of it.
Yeah, no, I was listening to it as it happened, and boy, the internet did provide. There was one word that was unanimously used to describe her.
I could not believe how many people used that word to describe her.
Which I cannot say on the radio, but I will see you next Tuesday to tell you all about it. And I could not agree. What a monster!
Yeah, the word was made for her.
What?
She is, and Scott, the real telling part was, we're talking about the lives of innocent children, young children, abused sexually, physically, emotionally. And she brings up the stock market and your 401k. This tells us everything we need to know about the mentality of the Attorney General and everybody in the cabal that is part of his cabinet. All they care about is power and money. How dare she bring up? But what about the stock market? I mean, are you effing kidding me?
Oh, it was so out of left field. Like, I thought, well, shame on Jim Jordan. Shame on him for running that, letting her go off and do what she was doing during that hearing. Like, he was running that things. It reflects just as poorly on him as it does on her. Based on previous hearings and when she had gone to the Senate, we knew exactly what she was going to do. She literally took the book from Mean Girls. Yeah. From the movie Mean Girls, she became Regina George, and she had her little burn book of insults and gotchas that she will go out and throw little zingers out at people throughout the entire thing, and never answered a single question.
She can't think for herself. She has to have those evil notes.
It's not even a question of thinking for herself. It is a question of answering the questions.
That's what I mean. She refuses.
She refused to answer the questions. Instead, she decides to attack the person who was asking the questions. Was it Jared Moskowitz? He was my favorite up there, who was like, before we even begin, I just want you to turn to the page that has me and just tell me what's going on. Please read the Jared Moskowitz part out loud. And since the Olympics are going to go on, I am going to score you on this, on your thing.
That,
She accused what's her name? The fabulous lesbian who calls herself a scrappy dyke. I can't remember. She's Jewish, and she accused her of being anti-Semitic. And she's like, I lost my grandparents in the Holocaust. She just stormed out. I'm like, it's great. But the thing and I'm so glad that I listen to her instead of watching her, because if I was watching through her, I would have reached through that screen.
Her looks on her face were just
and just open palm slapped her. The audacity.
She's like, how dare you ask me, is what her face is. How dare you ask me these questions? How am I supposed to answer them? You're supposed to answer them honestly and under oath, but that doesn't, even though she's like the one that's supposed to uphold the laws of the land, she does not at all respect the laws of the land.
No, none of them do. There is no such thing as the rule of law
there is
anymore.
None with them. It's
a lot of
despicable.
People.
It is, boy, a lot. I mean, everybody saw it. Everybody heard about it. I'd love to see her impeached. People have talked about it. She needs to be impeached. She is a disgrace.
She needs to go. Miller needs to go. Ding Dong needs to go. It's just, I don't understand how you can get behind them. This is a total fascist regime
Yeah.
that they are
Power
trying
and money.
the authoritarian aspects that's going on. And one of the things that really just kind of struck me, it really is Pam Bondi has no shame.
No.
She has no shame.
None.
And like shame, what we think of is like kind of like a bad thing, but like in healthy people, shame can be a barometer that let you know that things have fallen out of whack. If you are somebody who has a core set of values, if you are somebody who has a moral compass, your shame lets you know that your actions, your words, your deeds have fallen out of line with what you believe in. And shame kind of puts you back into alignment. I've had some moments where like we've done something that we
Right,
did
and you
not
feel
do.
you have a conscience about it, and
Like,
you feel bad about
I
it.
can't do that, and that only works if you operate with a core sense of values. And if you base everything on external validation for power, for status, for approval from authority, shame is nothing to attach to. It is nothing to attach to. And then you fill that void with either being like the hero or the victim. And that's what she did the entire time.
Yeah, so you said the words, if moral compass. There is no moral compass for her. Remember, she was the attorney general in Florida during when Epstein's indictments and charges started, and she allowed all of this. I mean, she's been complicit for years. She has no moral compass.
None of them do.
None of them do.
None of them do. I mean, and that whole thing about being like the hero or the victim, she's like, that's why she turned to the Dow randomly when Congresswoman Jayapal was like asked the survivors who were there, the brave survivors who were there, to stand up. She could not look at them.
No.
She refused to look at them.
Yeah, she was speaking to an audience of one. We all know that.
Oh, we know that. But with her, it didn't even register to her that she has done so much harm to these women.
Yes, by her inaction.
Well, and by her actions, by doing a real shoddy job of redacting documents, by keeping some of the survivors' names intact, their emails, their addresses, pictures of them, but protecting all of the powerful men.
All of them.
All of the powerful men. They've been redacted. It does not sink in that she has done any sort of harm whatsoever.
No, because her 401k and her investments are doing well. That's really all she cares about.
Yeah, but then so what she does is she goes on the attack. She pulls out that burn book. She's, accusing people of being anti-Semite. She's accusing people she's pulling out random things about that happen in their districts. It's like, well, that's not their job. They're there to represent the people here. There are other things that are happening within the local government that they should be taking care of. But like, it's just...
the actions of a guilty, shameless, disgusting, despicable woman with a person with no moral compass. Those are the actions. We saw it on display.
I know I don't understand how more people don't are on board with that. How they can see her as like she's doing her job.
Well,
she's doing a great
his
job.
popularity is going down, but now, as you've heard, the Gallup poll has decided they are no longer going to be in business.
What is that about?
Now that who knows what the ratings look like? Now this week after the Pam Bondi testimony, who knows?
I know what they say to the Gallup poll people to make them. That we're not going to do favorability.
They probably had compromise on whoever runs it. I don't know. Blackmail. Maybe they were in the Epstein files. God only knows.
I don't know. It is just
it's corrupt.
Yeah, but watching it was a disgrace. Watching her performance, whatever. It was just nothing but political theater that was going on. She deflected every question. She didn't answer anything, and it's just like we're asking basic things like. Why did you do such a bad job redacting these files? Why haven't you released more information? Why are you spying on members of the legislature who are looking at these files?
Yeah, that seems like illegal what she did there. I mean, they're entitled to look at them as they wish. Yet they had a little dossier on everything they looked at.
Yeah, and the fact that you have to go to a special room, like at the DOJ, as opposed to like someplace that's in the Senate, where you can go where everybody can have access that is in the Senate, because everybody in the Senate can have access to that. You know, there were only 4 computers in this room, and there were usually 2 other people in there reading a book. Wink.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just shady.
It is
shady. But you know what?
Yeah.
We don't have to release the Epstein files because they're down over 50,000.
Yeah. So really, people, that's really all
and
America
he was
cares
the best
about.
president in the history of presidents that have ever presidented ever.
Jeez. they've been thick as thieves for years. You know, you've seen the pictures of the 2 of them.
Yeah.
You know.
Of course, because she has helped cover it up ever since it was in Florida. And she's just doing her job there again.
Yes, she is.
You know, this is where we need Congress to step up. We need Congress to step up and do their job, to remind the rest of Congress that they are actually an equal branch of government with the executive. And with the judicial, because that Supreme Court, I'm like, you're all just shady as well. Ugh. Anywho,
a lot to be mad about.
There's a lot to be mad about, but hopefully we'll get some people into Congress who will actually start demanding Congress do their job.
Yes.
And we are going to take a quick break right now, because coming up after the break, we are going to be speaking with one of the candidates who would like to have that job in Congress, Illinois State Senator Mike Simmons. So stick around. You're listening to Out Chicago right here on WCPT Heartland Signal.
Welcome back. I'm Fazia Mirza. You're listening to Out Chicago on WCPT.
Welcome back to Out Chicago. Scott Duff here, along with Ella Miller, rolling along on this beautiful fake spring day. One thing that's not fake is that the Illinois primaries are coming up. They're just weeks away, and we want you to get to know the candidates. And joining us now is one of the folks vying to represent Illinois' 9th District in Congress, our good friend of the show, Illinois State Senator Mike Simmons. Senator Simmons, welcome back to Out Chicago.
Thank you. How are you?
We're doing great. The sun is out. We're getting all fired up. We're just looking at like the ridiculous little circus that was happening in Congress this week, and we're really hoping that somebody will go to Congress and actually remind Congress that they are an equal branch of government and to do their job.
Yeah. What do you think? Possible?
Right. Well, absolutely it's possible. You know, it's funny because I was just out. I'm in Uptown right now, in the Uptown neighborhood, and I'm interviewing with someone about why I'm running for Congress.
Mm-hmm.
And I just was saying that I think that we need people there who it doesn't seem like they're not there. I mean, I feel like we don't have effective representatives at all in Congress right now that meet the moment. And that's what a lot of voters are saying. They're saying they feel like fascism has taken over our country, and Congress is just sort of being pulled along, and it's not doing anything and not pushing back and not exercising oversight. And, you know, that's not my style, right? I mean, I'm running for Congress to come in with the fire and to stop this madness and to write the next chapter of American history.
What's keeping them from doing the right thing, Mike?
I mean, I don't know. I think you'd have to ask them, right? I mean, somebody asked me that this morning too, and I said, I don't know. I think I can tell you my thought is they're probably just out of touch. I think they're complacent. I think a lot of Democrats are complacent, and it's really getting us into trouble. You know, I think that there are Republicans that have been co-opted by Donald Trump, and they're afraid of him. They're afraid to push back. They're afraid of him primarying them.
Right.
You know, even in the United States Senate, right, at the highest levels of government. And so I think that's why, you know, Congress is sort of just sitting right now while Trump is taking us into wars, is issuing executive orders every day that take away our rights. And it's just wanton destroying our democracy.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you hit that one right on the nosy. Yeah. Look, so you're one of the things that I love about you is you are always out in the community. You are out like finding out what people need. You're talking to folks that's going on. Right now is with your work as a state senator here. So during your time on the campaign trail, what are the issues folks in the 9th are most concerned about?
Yeah, I was just out door knocking just yesterday and about to be out again in a couple of minutes here. And the thing I consistently hear about is two things. One, just everything is so expensive, the cost of living. And uptown in Edgewater and Rogers Park, people are feeling rent increases. They are concerned that hedge funds are buying buildings and turning them to luxury rentals, buying single-family homes and turning them into investment properties. And we don't see Democrats in Washington talking about that because they don't understand it. They're out of touch. They don't live in these communities. They don't feel the pressures of everyday people. In the suburbs, people are worried about that as well. I was out in Cary, Illinois, and I had a voter tell me that she struggled to find a one-bedroom apartment for under $2,000 for a family member, and that's 50 miles west of Rogers Park.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. I mean, affordability is definitely up on everybody's list. I know last week I ran out. I need like toilet paper and 2 frozen pizzas, and it was $35. I'm like, what? Wait, what the heck is going on here? And look, the housing crisis, that's something that I really want to talk about. And because I do think it might be for another day, but I do think like Airbnb and all of these places like VRBOs, they're ruining the housing market for so many people because they are buying up homes and people aren't living there the whole time. They're just renting them and making money. And it's
Yeah. How do we put that genie back in the bottle?
Well, it's a complex situation, but my platform, which, by the way, I want your listeners to go to MikeSimmons.org, go to issues. I've got a whole section on this. I think that, the first thing I would do would be to bring forward legislation in Congress to stop hedge funds and private equity firms from buying up buildings and turning them into investment properties. I think we need a national moratorium on this because it's not just affecting the 9th Congressional District where I'm running for Congress, but it's a problem affecting American cities where, if we're not careful in a few decades, the cities will just become places only the very rich can live. And I don't think our artists don't want that, our longtime residents don't want that, our families don't want that. And so our cities are what they are because of the people that live there. So we have to think bigger on this and have, I think, a lot more imagination in terms of policy. I also think that we should tax billionaires. I think that we should increase the tax on capital gains. We should close offshore tax havens where tycoons are holding their investment gains and they're not paying into new schools or into public housing or into healthcare, Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security. People in Congress have not been effective communicators or fighters on these kind of generational issues. And I think I represent that generational shift. I really do.
And I think part of them take advantage of those loopholes in those offshore bank accounts and the hedge funds and all. They're talking about limiting the ability of Congress people and senators to own stock because it changes how they feel about things. They make decisions based on their wealth and not on the good of the people. I think is part of the problem, don't you? That they're part of it. They're part of the elite.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people in Congress take donations from real estate and other groups that they want something in return. I mean, look, even in this congressional race, one of my opponents has taken thousands of dollars from some of the same donors who give to Donald Trump, that give to Ted Cruz, that give to AIPAC. And other groups that, we know that when people give money like that, they're going to expect something in return.
Sure.
Even if it's, just not being a leader on certain issues that the district needs you to be a leader on. And so, I'm running as a working class candidate. I'm a top contender in this race, despite the fact that I don't have millions of dollars in dark money coming in for me. Or rich donors around the country who are trying to have influence and want someone that's just going to take their cause. I'm doing this for the people that live in the 9th District, the people that are feeling priced out of housing, the people that can't afford their first home, the folks who are completely going without health care, and our seniors who don't have a pathway to retirement security, and our immigrants who are afraid to leave the house and operate their business because of ICE.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's one thing that has always endeared me to you because you come from a working class background. You understand the people, like you understand regular people, and you understand that corporations aren't people. So, which leads me to be like, hey, we need
No.
some campaign reform, finance reform. You know what I mean? Like,
Totally.
Citizens United has got to go. It's got to go.
Yeah. It does. And part of that is, the Supreme Court has to be reformed. This is part of my platform, too.
Right.
We're left with Citizens United because of the Supreme Court. Corporations are not people, and I think we need to shift from that model. And we need to go to a system of public financing of campaigns where working class candidates would get small dollar matches or other support so that they don't have to call rich people around the country all day that they don't know and just let they, decide to support them. I think we would have a Congress that starts to look more like America. And I definitely think that I look like a part of America that is woefully underrepresented in
Yes.
Congress, whether it's as a black and LGBTQ person, as the son of an Ethiopian asylum seeker, and as someone who grew up in public housing. I think that's a set of lived experiences that are woefully underrepresented.
100%. And if we make reforms to that, then people wouldn't be afraid to stand up against authorities because now they're all afraid about being primaried, and with the billionaires throwing monies at whoever's coming at them. But that to me is like, I've been singing that song for a while. And our time is short with you. I know this administration has also been very, very big with attacks on the LGBTQ community, especially trans folks. And as somebody who is a part of this under this big, beautiful LGBTQ umbrella, how are you prepared to stand for LGBTQ rights?
I think it's just being exactly who I am. Being out and proud, openly gay, state senator. I'm the first openly LGBTQ person to serve in the Illinois Senate. I had my 5-year anniversary actually just on Friday, on February 6th, since I took the oath of office, making that history. And if I were to win the March 17th primary, I effectively would become only the third black and LGBTQ person to ever take the oath of office in the U.S. House of Representatives. That person can come from,
Keep going.
That person can come from the 9th District. Our district is primed to make that kind of history. And I think it's just that. It's showing up. It's being outspoken, speaking truth to power, pushing back on the bigots and the right-wing ideologues that continue to target trans youth and LGBTQ communities writ large. And then it's I'm not just interested in stopping Republicans. I want to fight for more rights. I think this is something the Democratic Party has to reckon with. Is there too many people that are just reactive to Trump? And what we need to do is respond, and then we need to be willing to seize the narrative and communicate to voters what they're actually struggling with, and then paint a vision that inspires them and makes them see their life improving as part of that vision. And we need to start winning elections, and that's I think something will be a force to be reckoned with by Donald Trump. I don't look like your typical member of Congress. I'm a working class candidate, but I've been very effective in the state Senate. I know how to make things happen.
Proof's in the
but I
pudding.
know when you said that it's only been 5 years, I'm like, it's only 5 years because you've gotten so much done in your tenure as an Illinois state senator. And I'm like, oh wow, all right. So what can he do if he's in Congress?
Right.
I think it'd be magic.
For sure.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
That's
Do you
why
think-
I'm running.
I
Do you
know.
think term limits would help the cause?
I really do. I think people are staying in Congress way too long. I think
so
we need
too.
to take away lifetime appointments on the Supreme Court. That's part of my platform. They need to be taken and rescinded. I also think we need ethics reform. We need to ban congressional stock trading. I would go further in terms of the kind of disclosures that we should require of people who serve in Congress, and definitely our Supreme Court justices who are. We've read stories about Supreme Court justices taking vacations paid for by political insiders.
Yep. I agree with you 1,000%.
Look, Senator Simmons, we are so on the same page. And
yes,
if you
we
want to
are.
find out more information about the values and the issues and how he has supported our community, go to MikeSimmons.org. Senator Mike Simmons, best of luck to you as you head towards the primaries next month. And thank you so much, for all the work that you do for us in Illinois. Okay, yes.
One quick thing too. Thank you for that. The website for my congressional election is actually Mike. Yeah, no, it's okay. It's MikeSimmons.org. So go to MikeSimmons.org, and then you can find me on Instagram at Senator Mike Simmons. I'm on Blue Sky at Mike Simmons for Congress. And I'm on Facebook, Mike Simmons for Congress as well.
All right,
Wonderful.
MikeSimmons.org.
Wishing you all the
There
best.
we are, wishing you all the best, and thank you for taking
right.
time out today. Good
Thanks,
luck.
Mike.
Thank you.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
All right, we've got to take a quick break, and when we come back, there's the second hour of Out Chicago right here on WCPT Heartland Signal.
I'd like to welcome you to WCPT AM's Out Chicago. Think of us as Sunday brunch with your gay best friends. Now please welcome your host, Scott Duff.
Welcome back to the second hour of Out Chicago. Scott Duff here, along with Ellen Miller, just rolling along
Yes, we
here,
are.
getting our dander up about Howler Monkey Attorney Generals and supporting Senator Mike Simmons.
Yes, he's. We need more Mike Simmons in Congress. We need more people like him.
I know. Yes.
People of color, people LGBTQ people that are young and as he said,
And people who
working
know
class.
what's going on with
Yeah.
that people are having. I'm telling you. And how effective he has been as an Illinois state senator.
He's got to have a track record.
He's passed over 50 bills and like in 5 years. And most of that happened, like I think within the first two that he was in office. But again, go to MikeSimmons.org to find out more information about him. We're happy that you're joining us here on Out Chicago. Hey, did you know that you can listen to, rate, and share the Out Chicago full episodes and featured interviews podcasts that are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeart, YouTube, and Amazon Music? Well, you can. Whoa. All you got to do is search for Out Chicago with Scott Duff and Ellen Miller, or visit WCPT's podcast page at heartlandsignal.com/podcasts. Some of the latest featured interviews. We've had some good ones
Yes, we
on
have.
there.
Been
We've
great.
had Collaboration Theater Company's artistic director Anthony Mosley and executive director Darlene Jackson on the trial in the Delta, the murder of Emmett Till. And we've also, we had Coco Sudik of Q Force, another great organization. If you're looking to get involved into election, they're meeting monthly. We've had like August Spree, senior manager of special events at the AIDS Foundation Chicago for World of Chocolate on February 27th. Tickets are still available, and you can see me there passing judgment because I get to be a judge
lucky.
and eat all the chocolate.
It's a tough job,
Yummy,
Scott, but
yummy,
somebody
yummy.
has to do
I
it.
know. We also got some interesting people like I don't know, Susie Eddie Izzard, John Waters,
yeah.
Leslie Ann Warren,
Just them.
just those people. Anyway, and probably our next guest, which I'm very excited to have on here, because Rivendell Theater Ensemble, Chicago's award-winning theater company dedicated to elevating women's lives through the power of theater, kicks off their 30th anniversary season with the world premiere of Alex Lubischer's Pivot, a dark comedy about getting your way and making a scene. And joining us now is award-winning playwright Alex Lubischer. Hello, my friend. Welcome to the show.
God, how are you? Thanks for having me on the show.
I am well. How are you doing, my friend? Y'all are in previews.
Yeah, we're in previews. It's going great. We're just fine-tuning the show. We open next Saturday.
Right.
And it's been a blast. It's been a real honor, and it's been really fun working at this theater company.
Oh, Rivendell's just the best that's going on there. And I'm glad that,
good.
yeah, they're fantastic. And talk about like the quintessential Chicago theater experience, intimate, intense, right up on there. And so previews have been going well this weekend. I know you started on Friday, wasn't it?
Oh God, time sort of bleeds together when you're in previews. You're like I've been at the theater for 12 hours. Is it night or day outside? But I think Thursday was our first preview. And yeah, it's been great. They're like as you said, it's like an iconic Chicago company. I mean, Keith Kupfer and Tara Mallon, who were in, they had this huge hit movie Ghostlight that was nominated for Gotham Awards and Independent Spirit Awards. And their husband and wife in real life, Tara's obviously the artistic director of this company. They're playing husband and wife in the show, which has been amazing.
Yeah.
Both just to see their performances and also their just the married couple dynamic in the rehearsal room has also been so fun and amazing. And you get a peek into the domestic life.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's like an all-star cast. There's 5 actors, and Hallie Gordon is coming back. So Hallie Gordon was she ran Steppenwolf for young adults at Steppenwolf for years and years and years, and she's an ensemble member at Rivendell. And she's been at the only theater on the East Coast, and she came back. And she must love the play because she came back. We started rehearsals January 5th. she came back for like the worst part of Chicago winter to direct this play.
Oh, well.
So
Trial by
Thank
fire.
you, Hallie.
kudos and very, very eternal gratitude to Hallie for braving this winter again.
I love it. So, Alex, since Hallie loves the play, can you tell our listeners a little bit more about your play, Pivot?
Yes, yeah. So Pivot, I grew up on a farm in rural Nebraska. I grew up queer. And so I've really, I've always been interested in like women and queer people in like rural spaces.
Mm-hmm.
And so the play is set on, it's like country play I've ever written. And it's also simultaneously the most like woman-centric and queer play ever written. It's about this wedding, and it's going to take place in this barn. I can't really give a spoiler, but like very early in the play, a catastrophic, psychotic thing happens that throws everything into a tailspin, that plays a dark comedy. I think all my plays are sort of, you want to make people laugh, and then you want to make them gasp, and then you want to make them cry at the end. And that's sort of the goal. And so it's Kara is the main character. She's this bride who thinks her whole life is going to be mapped out a very certain way. And it turns out by the end of the first act, that is not the case.
Right.
And she sort of goes on this quest, mission, rampage to set things right. And the way I was telling my partner this, the way that I know the play is really working is I like, it's an intimate space. You can kind of see the other audience across the theater. It's in the round, right? And I sort of find, you sort of people watch as a playwright. You're like, okay, how's the audience feeling? And I find like a good friend of mine who's in the audience. And if every time the bride is on stage, their mouth is sort of like, oh my God, this woman is iconic. I'm like, okay, great, the play's working. Like the play is really firing on all cylinders.
Always use the gaze as a barometer.
That's a little bit about the play. The gaze are the barometer.
The gaze are the barometer.
The gaze of the barometer. That could be the subtitle under the title. But yes.
Alex, is it tough to balance the humor with like some of the darker emotional elements of the play?
It is. Well, if we're doing a job right, you're going to see this play and you're going to think, that was so easy. They just made it look so easy. And I think we are making it look pretty easy. But it requires a lot of work, right, to make it look easy.
Yeah.
I started off with that, just workshopping the play. It was my thesis at Yale. I was there for studying playwriting. And then I took it all the way to Nebraska for a workshop. So I've been working on the script for a while. And now it's really out of my hands, and now the work is really in the hands of, again, this incredibly talented cast. And they're finding that balance, and that's what's so exciting is I talked to my assistant director, Eric, and we check in after the show, and he was like, I was sitting with this woman, and by the end of the second scene, she was crying, and then she was laughing, and then she was crying.
Okay.
And like
You're accomplishing your goal.
This is the goal, is to sort of put people in this sort of blender of emotion.
Yeah. So full disclosure, Alex and I are friends.
I can tell.
Yes, we are. We are good buddies, and my husband also happens to be an ensemble member at Rivendell. So I know the event. So I'm like, oh my God. So
it's based on something that you.
No. I just know. Just because we're friends, and I know things.
Okay. We'll all know things if we see it, right?
Yes, and you all know things.
Yeah, you all know,
and the fact that it is in the round, that also kind of, I'm like, whoa, wait, in Rivendell, because it's a very intimate space. What was the rehearsal process for you as a playwright? Like, were you in there? Were you making changes as the rehearsals were going, or was it kind of like, nope, the script is locked and on day one, and we're going forward?
Yeah, no, I'm in the room almost every day. The script hasn't like totally changed, but I think it's changed by at least like 20% maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, the actors will show you something, and you go, oh, I want to make that a part of the play, or you have a little confab with the director after a particular scene, and you say, what if I don't know, there was a scene involving like porn, and we had this whole talk about it, and we're like, maybe we don't need the porn scene. And so now the play is still very sexy, but there's no porn scene anymore.
Okay.
So there's a lot of significant. changes range from like, oh, we're going to tweak this line to like we're changing the whole like first 5 minutes of the scene. Yeah.
Yeah, see, this is what I love about the rehearsal process and the preview process, which a lot of folks out there don't really, you hear these things like previews, especially when it comes to like a world premiere. What usually happens is you will have a performance like on Thursday night, and then Friday you'll have rehearsal during the day, and talented playwrights such as yourself, Alex Lubisher, with your new play Pivot, it's going to be at the Rivendell Theater Ensemble, will come in and, you know, like have new changes. And so you'll, based on what the audience tells you, how they're reacting and responding, then the actors and directors, the entire team comes back, they tweak it a little bit, and then they perform it again to see how that works. Then you go back and you have more like it's definitely like how the sausage is made. But as an artist, it is such a fun process to go through all of that. Have you been? I mean, it just, and with the cast and crew that you have for Pivot that's at Rivendell Theater Ensemble, it's just got to be like, mwah, chef's kiss. Has it just been a blast?
It has been a blast, and you're right. Like it's a play is like it's like a blueprint for a theatrical event, right? So it's not like editing a book where it's just you and your editor and you're always looking at a screen or a draft, like a manuscript. You can't really tell how a play lives and breathes in a room and where is it funny and where is it sad. You can't really tell until you have great actors doing it in front of you and creating it in space. And so that's really where the magic happens, and it has been a really magical process for sure.
Is there any one moment where there's like a big surprise that the audience reacts to?
Yes.
Oh.
There is a character. Well, I would say there's a couple. There's a couple gasps. There's a moment that like is there's like oh God, I'm trying to tell you without telling you.
Okay.
There's a moment that's part of wedding festivities. I mean, a lot of the plays about wedding festivities, where a character is like accidentally like maimed in like a very funny way.
Okay.
And that is a moment that like, it's funny because I teach playwriting at DePaul, and I always say to my students, it's interesting because we never want bad, terrible things to happen to us in real life. But in a play, that's usually the best part.
Right.
When something just like horrific happens. And so that's this character who I love so dearly. When this terrible thing happens to him, I also think it's like the funniest thing in the world.
Okay, wow. All right,
That's also just a little
that's
peek.
perfect.
It's a little peek into Alex's crazy brain.
I'm sure.
That's going on.
Sounds like
That's right. That's right.
So,
Yeah.
so you know, you are such an accomplished playwright. Like you said, you know, you've got Yale, and you teach playwriting at DePaul. How has, and it seems a lot of your work does seem to take place in more rural, I can never say it, rural. Like, and I'm assuming that's, you know, that's because of your, you know, you grew up in Nebraska. You know, how is it being Nebraska's favorite son next to Johnny Carson? You know, like how does that affect your writing and your perspective?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely colors the way I see the world growing up, like in this on a farm, and then going to school in a town with like 700 people. That's very, and being queer from that space, right?
Yeah.
Like it very much colors my work. I think it's made me hyper aware of like community and tribes and like who gets to belong in a like rural Nebraska and like who doesn't quite feel like they belong there. That's sort of the more dramatic way I think it's colored my work. But then in a comedic lens, like, you know, in plays, you want plays to be high stakes, and that goes back to what I'm saying, where sometimes when a terrible thing happens in a play, it's bad in real life, but it's great for comedy and drama. And there's something very funny in my plays. I think my plays are sort of in conversation with the work of the Coen brothers, who also do dark comedies about the Midwest, where like something terrible, like unimaginable, is happening to a character, and because they're Midwestern, they're like, oh, no, I'm fine. Like, I want to be a bother.
Right.
No. Like, I don't want to be too much. And there just is something funny about, like, what happens when that polite Midwestern sensibility collides with, like, the macabre or something, like, completely unhinged. I think that Midwestern sensibility is very key to sort of, as you said, like, unhinged, funny way I tend to see the world.
Nice.
You know, that all tracks. There we go. So when folks come to check out the world premiere of Pivot at Rivendell Theater Ensemble, what do you hope they take away from the show?
hope they take away. One, I just want them to have a great time. I think they will have a great time. I think, like, my goal, as I said, I want to make them laugh. I hope I make them gasp, and I want to make them cry. And so I just want to have a great time at the theater, mainly. I always say that, like, if you want the audience to have these sort of deeper thoughts or questions, you got to give a little candy first, right? You got to show people a good time, and then you can make them think about things. And I guess if I was then to think about, like, well, what do I also hope they're thinking about leaving the play after this great time? I hope they're thinking a little bit about belonging and this, like, need we all have to feel like we are a part of something. And then, like, as I said, the play takes place on this farm, and I hope they also leave with a little more knowledge of the perils and politics of what it means to be a farmer, like, in the 21st century. A lot of farmers in this thing called the lymphoma belt, which is like this area in the Midwest where a lot of people are getting cancer because of the use of, like, Monsanto, Roundup, all these herbicides and pesticides. And the play's not really about that, but it's really coursing underneath the play. And so that's what's really important to me. And so every play I've ever seen that has farmers in it has been like, we're in the Dust Bowl and we have to go west to California. Like every play about farmers, they're like in bib overalls with like a radio and it's the Dust Bowl. And so I wanted to write a play that's like, there are farmers today and some of them are women and they are dealing with real things sort of hundreds of miles away from these cities. And I hope that people walk away with like a little clearer perspective of that.
Great. I love that.
Look, I'm telling you, I am so freaking excited about this show.
I am too, after talking about
wait
it.
for you to see. Scott, you're gonna be the person I'm watching throughout the show.
I know,
I know.
I'm already. What if I decide to show up? I'm just going to show up wearing like a mask because I'm worried about you spreading disease. So I'll do that just to really mess you up.
Gotta be in
Come on.
agony.
Give Alex his thrill there.
Oh, no, I definitely will. Look, if you want to see something that is smart, macabre, dark, funny, heart-wrenching, make sure you don't miss the world premiere of Pivot by Alex Lubisher, which kicks off the 30th anniversary season of Rivendell Theater Ensemble. It's now playing through March 21st, so get those tickets. If you haven't seen a show at Rivendell, you are going to be in for such a treat. This ensemble of actors is the cream of the crop in
Tara
Chicago.
and Keith, oh my God.
Tara, like, I could watch the two of them
Me too.
read the phone book, you know,
Just incredible.
Yeah.
so go grab your tickets.
I'm gonna tell you. Can I tell you one more teaser?
Sure.
Just one more
Please.
teaser because it's you saying I could watch them read the phone book. Here's another one. But here's another moment. There's a moment where Keith Kupferer is asked by a character to read a menu at Applebee's, and Keith just goes, "Oh God, these menus are enormous." And then he goes, "Cedar grilled lemon chicken." Honey walnut chicken and shrimp, and he just reads like the chicken menu from Applebee's.
Great.
And it's one of my favorite moments in the show.
Of
so I
course
can
it is,
literally watch
because-
them read a menu or an apple. Yeah.
Menu, phone book, whatever.
He can do it.
The ingredients on an herbicide. We can do all of that right there.
Yeah.
But make sure you
That's
go
right.
get your tickets at rivendelltheater.org, and that is theater spelled with an R-E because they are fancy that way. And speaking of fancy that way, Alex Lubisher, break legs as you head towards opening. I'm so excited to see the show. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Alex.
Awesome. Thank you, Scott. Thank you. And I'll see you at theater.
You better believe it. All righty. We got to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're talking a little Olympics because, you know, I love the Olympics a lot. So stick around. You're listening to Out Chicago right here on WCPT Heartland Signal.
I'm filmmaker Stephen Cohn. Welcome back to Out Chicago on WCPT.
Welcome back to Out Chicago. Scott here along with Ellen Miller, just rolling along here on a beautiful fake spring day in Chicago. And hey, just so you know, this week on Choose Views, Richard Choose guests include Massachusetts Congressman Jake Auchincloss, Illinois Congresswoman Lauren Underwood, legal journalist Adam Classfield, Anisha Stephen, former senior policy advisor for the Department of Treasury, retired Army General Russell Honore, Sky Perryman of Democracy Forward, candidates Chris Swanson and Kevin Ryan, and show regulars Mike Nellis, Kate Lincoln Goldfinch, Lynch and Karen Byrne. Don't miss any of it. That's Choose Views, weekdays from 6 a.m. Central on WCPT, 8:20 a.m., the Heartland Signal website, TuneIn, YouTube, and Facebook. There we go. Look, I love the Olympics. I love it. 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 And mostly, and I've tried to figure out why it is. And it happens every 2 years now. It's because it's more about the individual.
Yeah, I love the stories,
It is about
backstories.
But not even the backstories. Like, the stories are great. Don't get me wrong. I love to find out all about them. You know, although I think our little skater Ileana friend,
I know, as you said on the break when I was lamenting his falls.
Little homophobic there, I believe. But allegedly. So I'm not gonna talk about it.
Especially because, in his field there are
But I just love the fact that it's like the world cares for these sports that aren't your baseball, basketball, football,
ice dancing,
hockey, and like all that stuff. Girl, don't even get me started with the ice dancing people. Ice dancing. Okay, this is where I was just being like, they're doing things that I could never do. Ice dancing, I always think is a little weird. But anyway, that's just me. But I take umbrage with the Team USA, with the USA team. I forget their name because their behavior when they...
The couple,
when they came in second, when they got silver, they were such bad sports about it.
What did they do?
They were just all like cockababies and just being all pouty pants over there. And I'm like, dude, like, I get it. You wanted gold. You got silver in the Olympics. Not everybody can say that.
Right.
Like, in fact, a lot of people can't say that.
Were they favored to win?
I don't know. It's just like, because I literally turned on as they were like, as the other team, I think it was Team France who won, but they were just like, they were just pouty
just
and
bad
weird
behavior.
and bad. I know. It was like,
unsportsmanlike
shame on you.
Conduct.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. There's something about the fact that it is like the people that they're individual folks who are doing this. I think it's because I grew up as a swimmer. You can't get more individual than that, except for like a relay. But like, because you literally can't talk to anybody because you're in water. But there's something about the fact that the dedication, the training, the sacrifice that's all gone into it. Like, there's something just so. Every race, I'm always like, well, way to go. I get always upset. I'm like I love watching curling because they're just yelling at each other the whole time. I'm like, I don't know what that means, but yes, sweep, do it. Just watching, there's something about, again, watching people do things that
at the highest level too
that I couldn't do.
Yeah.
Ever. I don't think that always makes me happy. But like watching the he was a slalom. Was this alpine skiing? The guy from Brazil. He won Brazil's first gold medal in the Winter Olympics. In fact, he won the first gold medal in Winter Olympics in all of South America.
Oh my goodness!
I know.
That's big.
And watching him win, like, there was this barbaric yelp that came out of him. Like, he finished the race, his time came up, and it was just like, like there was something primal that came out of him as they stood in front of the crowd. And it was just something like, dude, you mean that? You really mean that? And he and his dad just like cried.
High emotion for sure.
Yeah, there's just something that's so exciting. Although I do one little note. Hey, NBC, if you're listening, and I know you are, you got to chill out with like every single one of these little get to know you stories. They're all like every single one of them. They lean in hard on the sacrifice stuff. Like, it's all. It sounds awful. They're like, I've had to give up so much, and like the amount of blood, sweat, the injuries, the sacrifices I've had, the financial burden. I'm like, whoa. Like, we get it. I get it. But this is just,
I mean, it's true. They go through
100%
a lot, and I think that some people lose sight of, they see the finished product, but they're keeping it in context of what it takes to get there is just
It's a lot. It
a
is
lot.
incredible. The amount of the dedication, the discipline, the focus, and the fire. It's just great. Like Chloe Kim. She was a snowboarder.
Yeah.
Did you see any
saw
of the
some of her.
snowboarding?
I did see some snowboarding.
See, now she's a class act. She got second. She got silver. And what did she do? She went over to all the other people and just gave them hugs. Thank you, Chloe.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chloe.
She's a woman. She's got it. She's got it going on.
Well, the gal, the ice dancing gal, she was the biggest poopy pants of the two. I'm telling you, sportsmanship. We need sportsmanship.
I get that with it's the Olympics, so
yes, 100%.
So of course, like the composer needs to be there, but I guess there's a glaring controversy with the scoring of that judge.
Yeah, that was my next question. Was
like,
there a controversy that spurred
a
them
French
to
judge mysteriously voted very high for the French pair that ended up winning it.
Then I understand a little bit.
Then are we also going to get into crotchgate?
Yeah, the high.
Are we going to get into crotchgate?
That are injecting supposedly
yes.
to enlarge in their
junk,
their area,
their junk,
because it gives them more airlift because it's more bigger and it gives them more.
No. See, it only happens when they're getting measured for their outfits, when they're getting their little suits made. So the whole crotchgate thing that's happening is apparently, which is also actually there is a part of the fetish community in LGBTQ community that is all about the saline injections.
Oh, I did not know. How would I?
There you are. Well, you need to hang out in some interesting places. Then,
I don't need to know. It's okay.
So what the whole thing's going on right now is that they're saying when everybody was getting measured for their little outfits for their ski jumps, they have some injections in their junk, so their junk is bigger because the outfits are very form-fitting.
Right.
And then so things are bigger when you're getting measured, and they're smaller when you are not in them. There is more fabric, so there's more give, so it helps with the lift, with the ski jump stuff. I think it's hilarious.
A slight extra glide, I guess.
Well,
that you get.
Yeah. Which is why I want to rename the ski jump Flying Death Squirrel.
Yeah.
Like it's Flying Death Squirrel right over there. Like because they just fly.
They're using everything in their power to fly.
They are, but it's causing a lot of controversy.
It's
causing a lot of controversy. I think we do need to rename some of the other Olympic events.
Okay, any ideas?
Yeah, speed skating, I think, should be Adventures in Thigh Meat. Have you seen those legs?
Those are
It is
strong.
nothing
Those are
but
some
thigh
strong
meat.
dams,
So you're probably talking about the kid from Wisconsin.
The kid from Wisconsin, but all of them.
Schultz or
all of them.
Well,
But the dude from Wisconsin,
Schultz, I think it's Jordan Stoltz.
Stoltz, I think.
Yeah,
something. Yeah, he just.
We should know this because he's like a world record holder.
Well, he just won two.
From nearby.
He just got his second gold yesterday. He has got 2 more to go. They're calling him the Michael Phelps of the speed skating world. I could watch speed skating, Adventures in Thigh Meat. One begins on the outside, one begins on the inside. You do one in that lane, and then you have to switch to the other.
Because you want to keep it the advantages fair.
Yeah. But when it's like a group of 5 or 6 people, and they're all doing, because there had 36 entries, I believe it was for the 1500, and they were watching them go around.
And no collisions.
No, there are collisions. It's just like Alex Lubisher was saying, when things that are horrible to happen, you don't want them to happen, but it's still very dramatic and amazing. People are wiping out. They are going into things. You're like, oh my gosh, are they going to get hit by their ice skate? Are they going to do that? I hope so. I hope not.
The one that scares me is the luge. I mean, I'm watching that, and they did a little demonstration before one of the races, and one of the women commentators, got on the sled thing, and your chin is like an inch above the ice.
Are you talking about the luge, or are you talking about the skeleton?
The skeleton.
The skeleton is what. That's the one I call. Yeah, the one where you're facing down. You're going head first.
You're facing down. You're this far from the ice. You're literally inches from the ice, going at a speed with your head leading.
Yeah, that's why I call it suicide sledding.
It looks just like it scares the living daylights out of me.
I know. Think about the bravery that it takes to go in there, and how do you steer with your foot? They're just
nothing's strapping you in. It's like centrifugal force.
I know.
I mean, you're laying on
so
there.
Exciting. It's so
I'm
exciting.
I'm really tense when I watch that one.
Me too.
Skeleton.
Me too. Don't you love it though? Don't you? It's kind of
And
like
then they stand up, these gorgeous men, and they take off their big heavy mat. And I'm like, oh my God, you got to be so happy.
have you watched
this is over.
the ladies do it? The women's?
I haven't seen yet. No.
Girl, okay. Don't you get that sort of like Willy Wonka sort of thing? Like the tension is killing me.
Yeah, I
hope it
do get the
lasts.
tension. Is yes.
Oh.
It's
Yeah, the skeleton event is one of those things
that's
that
the
I'm like,
scariest one for me.
again, it is suicide sledding. Again, I think we should call curling ice bocce.
ice bocce. That's
Ice
a very
bocce
descriptive and good term
totally
for it.
works.
Yeah.
I think for me, one of my friends, I posted a question. A friend of mine said the biathlon. You know, that's the one where
With the guy they
you
shoot and ski.
You do the cross country skiing, and then you go and shoot. That's apocalypse readiness, right there.
That's a good name.
Cross country skiing is cold cross buns. I think I proposed that. Hockey, it's just now gay hockey. Now
It's all gay hockey.
It's all
now.
gay hockey now. Because of that show, they did a rivalry show. You know, you've seen the first 2 episodes. I've only seen 3
Yeah.
of it.
Oh, you've only seen. Okay, so you're not.
Yeah,
far
no,
ahead of
because
me.
I'm having a hard time getting through it.
What's making it hard for you?
It is so closety that talk about making
That
somebody
makes me-
feel nervous.
yeah, I
it
hear that.
makes me feel, and I know it's the point, and I know everyone's like, get to episode 5. Episode 5 is a game changer.
Okay.
Blah, 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 blah. But I'm like, based on what we have seen within the first, again, I've only seen 3 episodes, and the 3rd episode is with a whole other different guy.
Oh.
Yeah. Different. It's like a whole different storyline that kind of pops up. But like they're very, very sexy. Very sexy. You know, but I'm like, this relationship is so toxic. Like it's bad. And you're selling this to me as this is the greatest love story ever told. And I don't buy it. And it gets me really, really mad because it feels like we're going back to the 90s when anything that was queer, specifically when you were in the 90s and when anything was gay, it was all about coming out stories, all about like being in the closet and blah, like, and I just feel like we as a country, as a nation, as a culture, as a community, we've gone beyond that. You know,
because this takes place in current times.
yeah, it takes place in current times.
It's not like
It's
something
going-
from the 90s or 80s. Or
No, and like, and you know, when I get it, again, I get the whole thing that it's like, it's the world of sports and blah, blah, blah. But I
hear you.
It makes me feel gross.
It makes you feel, like, really, is this where we're at? You know, can't we have something a little more hopeful, shall we say?
Well,
or-
apparently, again, everybody says like, and it does get hopeful, and they dress all of that, blah blah blah.
Okay,
But
all right.
me personally, I'm having a very hard time watching it because it's just like I'm not rooting for either one of them. All they do is they get together and they hook up, and
Yeah,
then
they
they
hook-
don't talk to each other.
There's no
And
there's no
one is-
relationship
and
other
one-
than
I know.
physical.
And I'm like, so what is the
And
relationship?
this is what they're promoting.
Yeah,
you know.
that's-
I feel the same thing. Yeah, I said that. I'm like, it's just strictly a physical thing. And you
Again,
miss-
it changes up. Like third
They're
episode,
setting the table.
The
I
third
get
episode, and they're just luring people in, like hooking them to get all the sexy bits because it's very sexy.
I
It's
guess.
very sexy.
That's very-
They're luring them in so they'll watch the rest of the show. I get it, but it's just for me, it's been really, really hard.
We'll see if we can get through a couple more. So we
Well,
can
again,
see.
the third episode was the best one of the ones
Okay.
that I've seen, but it's like I don't know. I don't know. I don't feel like
I'm sure other people feel that way too.
I guess. I don't, well, no, actually, I don't think they do.
No,
Every time I talk to somebody, and it's oddly enough, lesbians love the gay hockey show. They love it. Every single one of my lesbian friends are like, oh, I'm like, except for you. They were like, but they've all been, you haven't watched it, you gotta watch. I'm like, I'm having a hard time. And then I tell them, and they're like, oh, okay. Yeah, I get it. I see that. Like, okay, great. I don't know.
To each their own.
To each their own. To each their own. And actually, and also to each their Joan. See what I did there? Because this week on Live, Local, and Progressive, Joan Esposito's guest, to each their Joan. Jones' guests include Indivisible co-founder Ezra Levin, retired Army Major General Randy Manner, Margaret Donovan, former assistant U.S. attorney for the District of Connecticut, and former captain in the Judge Advocate General Corps, gun control activist David Hogg, and Juliet Jeske of Decoding Fox News. That's live, local, and progressive weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Central on WCPT 820 a.m., heartlandsignal.com, and tune in. So that's what you can get
lots
with
to look
Joe.
forward to.
Lots to look forward to. And we're going to look forward to a break right now. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, it is the final thrilling show-stopping moments about Chicago right here on WCPT Heartland Signal.
Welcome back to Out Chicago on Chicago's Progressive Talk. Can I get you another Bellini?
Why, 100% you can. Thank you so much, Stephanie Miller. Welcome back to Out Chicago. Hey, just to let you know, Monday on Driving It Home, Patty Vasquez will be joined by guest co-host Karen Bird, and their guests include congressional candidate Junaid Ahmed and comedian Damon Williams. Also this week, Agnes Gray and Jane Ruby of the League of Women Voters, comedian Paula Poundstone, a slew of 2026 candidates, and more. Driving It Home with Patty Vasquez, weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m. Central on WCPT 820 a.m., the Heartland Signal website, TuneIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Ooh, speaking of Facebook, if you haven't already, you can follow Heartland Signal and on X, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and Heartland Signal. That's all one word. That's where it's at, Heartland Signal. We got to get off of X and TikTok. There we go. I had the weirdest thing happen to me this week. I've had a couple weird things happen to me this week at work, at the snack factory. So there I was at the register, just doing the beeps and boops, checking somebody out. And then all of a sudden, from behind me, I feel two hands tickling my side. And I'm like,
Who's touching
like,
me
what's going on?
while I'm working?
I know. I'm like, I'm in the middle of doing something, and then I turn around, and it was a customer.
That you didn't know?
No, she comes in all the time, but she's like, I saw you, and I didn't want to, you were over there, and I didn't get a chance to see you, and I just want to make sure I got to see you before I left.
You're like a cuddly bunny she can't keep her hands off
I know,
of.
but I'm like, lady, I don't know your name. Why are you touching me?
That would drive me crazy. I do not like people touching me, especially if I don't know them.
If you don't know them, I'm like, why
don't
are
like
you
that.
touching me?
Never liked that.
It's so weird. It's just like, it's odd. Like, I'm a grown man.
But
Why are
she
you?
feels such familiarity with you. Maybe she listens to the show. She sees you at Trader
Okay, well,
Joe's.
then if she does, don't touch me like that. That's weird.
She can't help herself. She just wants to tickle you like a little puppy.
What if you got tickled like a little puppy?
I would not
What would you
like it.
do? Would you turn around and clock him?
I go,
You know?
excuse me,
Yeah,
is what I'd say.
yeah.
Excuse me, like that. Excuse me.
It
Do I know
was
you?
very odd. So
Do we have a relationship I'm not aware of?
yeah, like I
I don't like that either. I don't like to be touched by surprise.
me either. Like, and years ago when I was really like young and juicy, I would get like touched all the time waiting tables. And I remember going to my lesbian boss, and she's like, they just whatever. Take it as a compliment. I'm like, what? What? Like, I don't know. It was, and then as I was getting into my car, there were two regulars who, I'm like, we have a Subaru, it's a car, and I was getting into it, and this couple, they're like, oh, we thought you were just a poor grocery worker.
What?
Yeah. People say the weirdest things.
That is
There's
unnerving.
definitely
That is
again,
not
like
cool.
I said, there is a classist sort of thing that's going on that happens when you work retail or when you work customer service and when you're doing things that because you have a name tag that you are dumb.
Private property.
That you are dumb.
Public property.
Yeah, and public property.
Yeah.
And financially challenged. I'm like, what? It's appalling.
really-
Like I remember people like talking about going to the Joffrey, and they was like, oh, I'm going to this Joffrey Ballet, and I knew that. I'm like, and the program is blah. And she went, how do you know about ballet? And I'm like, I'm just because I work there doesn't mean I don't have a brain or don't have appreciation for the arts. Anyway, that I'm just gonna get off my little soapbox on that. So,
disturbing.
folks, when you're out there in the world and say you have somebody a business that you frequent regularly, and there is a person there, make sure that if you know their name, if they don't know your name, then don't touch them. Don't touch them. There we go. That's all I have to say.
A lot of people today say, "Can I give you a hug?" And you're like, "Of course."
100%.
It's nice that they ask.
Because there's also there's some weird, some heavy stuff. People will tell you sometimes checking people out at a grocery store is like being a bartender.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll tell you
people's
some. They'll
problems
tell
and
you
things.
some stuff.
Yeah.
And
Being
there
a
have been times
hairdresser.
that I'm kind of like, "Hey, can I give you a hug?" Like I always
Right,
ask
you
before
ask,
I do.
yes. Which
And
is-
anyway, look, there was Dawson died. James Vanderbeek died
Very
at
sad.
48.
Very sad.
It was so weird. Here's the thing. I wasn't the biggest, I didn't hate James Vanderbeek, but I wasn't the huge, big James Vanderbeek.
That show was not on my radar, of course.
It was on my radar because it was the right demographic for it when it came out. And I also had a friend of mine who worked on it, who now runs Hollywood.
Wow.
Right now. Yeah. Greg Berlanti. He started out.
I've heard that name.
He's behind
Lots of
Brothers
it.
and Sisters
Yeah.
and all of that stuff.
Sure.
He started out as a writer on Dawson's Creek, and he was one of my first college friends. It was oh, good on you. But how sad it was.
Oh, yeah.
At 48 years old, 6 kids.
Got a bunch of kids.
And then this
nice-
but then what also was just, again, it just highlights how screwed up our medical system is right now, because you have somebody who's got over 200 credits on IMDb who has racked up medical death because
he needs help paying.
Because he didn't have insurance. Because the way you get insurance through the acting unions is through how much you work and how much money you make. With SAG-AFTRA, you have to.
And he didn't make enough over the years to.
It's every year.
Oh, you have to
Shannon
qualify every
Doherty. It
year.
happened with Shannon Doherty. The same thing. She passed away of breast cancer a couple of years ago, but she was not working, so she did not have insurance. She didn't have insurance at the time.
It's criminal.
It's a lot. So you have these people who were have helped shape culture, have helped, that generate the whole generation grew up with these shows and everything.
Just underlines how horrible our system is.
Yeah, because he's had to have
that way.
Dawson had to have a GoFundMe.
I know. I heard. Gosh, that's just when I heard that, I was like, really?
I know. That's why I was like, wait, I can't really, because I'm well, I guess he didn't really work, but I'm no, he worked a lot.
Yeah.
But he's got a farm. He has a ranch. He has 6 kids and a wife. Kids are expensive. But anyway, so it's when it comes down to, again, if people who lead an artistic life, it is not an easy road to hoe, especially when it comes to just basic things like insurance.
Yeah.
For SAG-AFTRA, you have to work, I think, 180 days, and you have to make at least $38,000 a year from SAG gig to qualify. And then with Actors Equity, you have to work at least 6 months a year and that's changed because it used to be 12 weeks to get partial for 6 months of insurance and then 20 weeks. But it's anyway, I know all this for the love of entertaining.
Yeah.
But our hearts go out. James Vanderbeek, he really
Very
did help
sad.
shape a generation. It really was Gen X right there. I'm so
And
glad.
then, it's a reminder because they tell people that, you should start getting colon cancer screenings, colonoscopies at 50. And there's an uptick of colorectal cancer with younger people.
Well, that's because of everybody's on this protein kick.
Is that what it is?
Yes, because they're not getting enough fiber. There's an uptick in colorectal cancer because people are all up on this protein thing. And I'm like, y'all, gorillas are vegetarian. Look at them. How much protein do you chill out with the protein. I know but they're not getting enough fiber, and that's messing up your insides.
There's a little public service
There you
announcement,
go.
everybody.
Get your fiber.
Get your fiber on.
Eat beans because you get protein and fiber right there. There we go. And everybody poops. And on that note, we are done with today's.
And you're going to be on a much deserved and needed vacation.
I'm going to be going on vacation. You're going to be running the show next week.
Yes, I'll have Kathy Voltmer by my side as my co-host.
Love it, love it, love it.
We're going to miss you, but we will hold down the fort.
I will miss you enough. Okay, I will be on a beach. I'm going to be on a beach and doing that.
We're tag teaming. I'm going to go on the beach.
You're going to go on the beach the following week. Yeah. There we are. So
warm it up for me, Scott.
I will. Hey, I want to thank all of our guests. Illinois State Senator Mike Simmons. Go to mikesimmons.org. I'm telling you, you won't regret it. He's a fantastic man and an incredible candidate. And also thanks to Alex Lubashar, whose plays Pivot is going to be happening at Rivendell Theater Ensemble. Devin, thank you so much for everything that you do. Paul, thank you for our guest appearance in studio. That was so much fun.
Yes, it was.
There we go. Ellen Miller, I will see you in about 3 weeks, I guess.
Time, relax, enjoy, and just take
it
all in.
I'm already packed.
Good.
I'm already packed, and I leave Tuesday. So anyway, I'm Scott Duff, and until next week,
stay proud.
Around the Town, Chicago, with Al Besloff.
Steve, how are you? I haven't talked to you in a while.
There's a great comedian does a great bit on this where, people lecture him about, don't let your dog sleep in the bed with you. His response is, what year do you think it is? Yeah, it's not 1980 where the dog is in the backyard.
I meet so many